Hi, it's Adam back from the Rubik's Cube, and today I have a video on how I set up my puzzles. This time lapse is of me setting up my Guanlong. This is a puzzle I'll be making into my new sticker mod. The first thing I do is gather my supplies and take off the cube stickers. It really helps to be near a sink for this because it can get very messy. I found that it helps a lot to constantly wash your hands. I use a metal blade here, which is not a good idea because it leaves scratches on the cube. I would ideally suggest a plastic blade, something I didn't have at the time. I peel and fold each sticker up by the corner, then rip them off with my hands. This method helps me to pick up some residue and makes the process a lot less tedious. After that's done, I go put some Goo Gone on a paper towel and wipe down the cube. Then I let it sit. After waiting a few minutes, it should be really easy to wipe off the residue. Do not, however, constantly reuse the same paper towel. You'll just end up spreading the residue everywhere. I recommend a towel per each 2 to 3 sides depending on the amount of residue on each side. Depending on the color of the sticker, the amount of residue will vary. So the next step is to take apart the puzzle, which includes disassembling the core. I purchased a washer set from thecubicle.us made specifically for the Guanlong, which doesn't come with its own washers. This is absolutely not necessary. It will help with the life of the cube, so I'll leave a link down below where you can buy those. So moving on to lubing, it doesn't really end up mattering where you put the lube, just as long as it gets somewhere where it's touching the spring. So here I just put some inside where the spring goes and some inside the core and screwed it back together. It's very helpful to do the best job you can of making sure the screws are screwed in at about the same length. This will help with tensioning later. Next, you want to start assembling the cube layer by layer, making sure to use lube as you build up the cube. I generally use the most lube at the bottom layer, then do less and less as I work my way up. But like I mentioned earlier, it doesn't really end up mattering where you put the lubricant. Make sure to leave off the center caps because we will have to tension the cube after this. Tensioning can be something that's very difficult for many people. I found that the reason for this is that they focus on corner cutting. It's very important to not focus on just corner cutting while tensioning your puzzle. In a solve, you will never need to cut more than one piece. You will, however, need good turning. Figure out what turning is best for you. I like it just in the middle, not too loose, not too tight. You may like it differently. There are many tricks and tips out there how to correctly tension a puzzle, but here's my tip. Turn the cube. If one side's looser than the other one, then tighten it. That's it. Nothing fancy should be necessary, and after you put some time and energy into it, you'll have a well-tensioned puzzle that, as a result, corner cuts well. I can't stress this enough, corner cutting is an after product of good tensioning. You will be tensioning for forever if you try to tension a puzzle based on corner cutting. After the puzzle is tensioned, I usually stress test it. These cubes are made so they won't pop, so if they pop, you did something wrong. Overall, this process takes time, energy, experience, and lots of practice. Everybody gets good at it at some point. The next step is to solve it a lot, then let it sit overnight, then repeat that for 2 nights. One of the most important ingredients for making a good cube is time. Often it can take weeks to tension and retension puzzles until it's just right. And now I'm done. I have a cube ready to be modded. You may want to stick your puzzle, however. For that, my friend the Programming Cuber made a great tutorial. Click on screen or link in the description to see that. My question for you today is, how do you tension your puzzles? Today's viewer question comes from Van Cuber, who asked, if you were a cube, what cube would you be? I would have to say a Zanchi, old school but still used and respected by many. And also because Zanchis are awesome. That's it for this one. I hope it helped you guys tension and lube your puzzles better. As always, leave your questions down below if you want them answered next video, as well as your suggestions for me to improve my videos. Like and share this video in order to be awesome, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.